everyone to our first Power Half Hour. My name is Stella Lupashor. I am the founder of Amazing Community, and I'm thrilled to be introducing the first topic of our Power Half Hour conversations. The goal is for us to learn how to organize our notes. Some of you already shared the notebooks and the Post-its and everything that you have around your desk. And more importantly, use the technology to support us in that organizational endeavor. We will start with a few welcomes, and we will dive into practical application of Evernote, and then we'll spend a little bit of time at the end for some Q&As. This is intense 30 minutes. The goal is to give you practical skills that you can immediately apply and take it and start using immediately after the session. Please go to evernote.com and then compare plans and choose the free plan and click get started and create a profile. This will immediately get you onto the Evernote, the free version of it. Hopefully you were able to go log in and create your profile on Evernote. And what we will try to do today is really help ourselves do our work better. The problem we have is the amount of content, amount of documents, amount of articles that come our way is getting bigger and bigger. We know that the amount of data that gets produced every 2 years doubles. So as a human, we did not keep up with that development. Our brain is not necessarily able to cope with that. And every single interruptions create a significant delay in our ability to get back in the flow and focus on what we were doing before. I don't know about you, but for me, majority of my wasted time usually gets spent on searching for documents, because I would start doing something and I say, I need that article. I remember seeing that. So when I start looking for it, I cannot find it. And it becomes kind of an expedition through a maze, because then I remember something else and then I get distracted. And in the end, the day feels like I haven't accomplished anything, although I've been busy with a lot of things. An IDC article back in 2001 that mentioned that about almost 20% of the work time is wasted on searching for info. And while that article and that research has been debated, there are different counter arguments, and I have the links on the last page to some of those research and the counter arguments. I still feel that that is continue to be the case. The focus time is also critical. We always think that, oh, we will get just quickly reply to this email, or we quickly will go and reply to that text. And all of that creates our very splintered day, because it takes about 25 minutes to return really to the mindset where you were before you got interrupted. So it is important when we get the work done, not only to organize the information, but to organize our workspace and think about carving out time that allows us for focused work. When you disconnect all your notifications, when you disconnect your anything that potentially can distract your attention. So anyone would like to share what your major concerns that you're dealing with when it comes to all this digital clutter?
For me, like,
you captured it for me.
Yeah. For me, it's like you, it's like organizing and be able to find it quickly. But also I'm finding if there's any interdependencies, like some would relate to others. You know, you definitely have where you have sort of nuggets where you need to find things, but also how they relate to each other. So,
so that's where some of the tagging skills would help too. Anyone else?
Yeah, for me, it's like fear of missing out on my own, well-pulled information. Like I saw something, I didn't have time to read it, I stashed it, and now I know it's going to be the greatest thing, and I can't find it. Or I had the greatest thought on the planet, but I can't remember what it was. Just that, like, I just know that it's going to help me, and I kind of put my eyeballs on it.
And then you find it in the middle of something else that you are really wanting to focus, and then it gets you off track. Sounds familiar. Excellent. So hopefully Evernote could be something that could help you get over some of those, at least from digital clutter perspective. So there are multiple versions and different different plans have different features. Evernote, compared to many other tools, is relatively reasonable, not that expensive, but the free version of it provides with a lot of things that you can do just to get you started. And for many, that is enough. You may not need to ever pay anything for it. So with the free version, you can take notes, you can search through them, you can access those notes through multiple devices. You can organize them into notebooks and stacks, and we'll talk a little bit more about what that looks like. And you can create tags. Tagging system in the Evernote is just brilliant. That's one thing that really helps organize a lot of things in an easier way. And of course, the ability to work offline is important, although nowadays, I think everybody, for the most part, has access to Wi-Fi or internet at their fingertips. So let's dive in. There are a few things to know the terms. There are things called notebooks. So these are collection of notes. You can organize, you can use them as one type of organizing system. In the notes is what you type, you capture information, you clip things from the internet, you have templates that allow you to create different formats like notebooks, like a checklist, like gratitude notes, and we'll look at some of those. You can then use notebooks to further organize them into stacks. So yet another way of grouping information by themes or intent. Tags is another way to organize. Some people don't use any of the stacking, any of the notebooking. They just create notes and use tags as the main organizing principles, which makes it easy. It's just a matter of preference. And then last, if you have certain notes that you continuously go to or use maybe on a daily basis, you start the day with, you can create shortcuts, and those are brought up to the top. So what we're going to do now, we will practice. I'll show a few examples of how to do that. And I would love for you to practice that. This way you'll be able to figure out and then ask questions if you run into any problems. Excellent. So first and foremost, there are several ways to navigate and organize your home base and the Evernote as a platform. You have the left navigational bar, and you have a menu of notebooks, and these are the notebooks that I created, and we will just practice doing some of them. There are ways to organize the tags. There is a folder with trash, where all the documents that you trash get stored, and from time to time you either clean up, or if you need to find and restore them, you bring them back. And then at the top, to make it easy, you have shortcuts. So when you do a note, you click on this little down carriage. You have option to start with a pre-existing template. So let's say with the to-dos, because we all have that. And it has a few items that you can start pre-populating. So today, what you're going to do, and when you click down or hard return, it will provide you with another option where you can run the event. And then as you get through your to-dos, you can check them done. Similarly for tomorrow. If you want to create another to-do with the lecture notes, it already has a few things pre-populated. So these are the most used, the most created templates. There's also another collection of different templates. So when you start with a blank note, you will see this little menu on the right called template, and you can choose a whole set of categories, for life, for school, for work, project management. Let's say you have a calendar, you can click on it, it creates it, and then you can start populating it. You can do exactly the same by using your local menu that allows you to insert attachments or create a table or create checkbox or sketch, or even integrate with some of your external file storages. But many times you shouldn't be spending time if there's already a template around that you can repurpose. Additionally, you have this navigational pane for the notes themselves, and the way to look at them is to either sort them as cards. Some people prefer to see the little snippet of what may be in that content. Some people like really tightly organized desktops, so they may create either snippets or just a list that really compresses the list. And then, of course, you can filter and organize by date created, by location, the size, etc. One other menu and navigational point is on your right side. So when you click on a particular note, you will have these three little dots. And it gives you option to either share the note, add it to a stack or a shortcut, or delete it once you need to delete it. So I'll pause and I'll encourage everyone to go create a note. Done. Now we can start thinking about how to organize these notes. So the notebooks is where you can have collections of notes. Some people organize it by topic. So for example, you can have amazing community notes. Everything is in one notebook, or you can have my to-dos and my projects, or organized by the name of the project. One best practice recommended is to have it by just main 4 categories. One is the inbox, all the notes that you put in there, that's where you store them. And then after that, you process them. And by processing, I mean, you either tag them properly, or you put them into, or take action on it if you need to take action, or you defer and delegate, or you put them in the, as a reference or memory. So that's a way to categorize them in the notebooks. So let's create one. If you click and hover over the plus sign, it will give you the option to create a notebook. Evernote training. So we created, it's as complicated as that. So right now the notebook is empty, and we can use some of the notes to drag them into that notebook. So we'll take these 3 things that we've done and move them into Evernote training. So it's as simple as drag and drop, and they are now posted in the notebook.
So
Similarly,
just quick question from
Yep.
Kathleen. The inbox is just your collection of random notes,
correct.
and then you can make a notebook, you know, just like a spiral notebook, and that's like your Evernote training, which collects all of your notes. Okay,
That's correct.
thank you.
And for the notebooks, you have a local menu on the top of the notebook middle pane. So you can add new notes directly into that notebook, or you can rename if you need to, you add shortcuts to it. And this is where we get into the stacks. You can have multiple notebooks that can then be grouped again together. So given the multiple projects that I work on, I have a stack for Amazing Community, and in Amazing Community stack, I have minutes with the team. We have to-dos, collaboration with voice community. So this way, it gives me a logical construct to organize my thoughts. So I can add these two. I can create a new stack, and we can say PowerHalfHour. So this will be the stack where I will have all the PowerHalfHours, and it will have this ability to open up and see another subfolder underneath that. Okay, so take a few minutes to create a notebook for yourself, and then create a stack for it. So now let's look at tagging. This is where you can add another layer of your ability to organize. So the tags are really keywords that you use to name your notes. And what this does, it helps you really easily find the information without necessarily searching and trying to remember how did you organize the folders or the notebooks or the notes. So the easiest way is to add a tag if you know already the beginning. So let's say PowerHalfHour, it's going to be a tag just because I'm going to always use it. And now every single time I have a note, on the bottom, you have the little, so on the bottom of the screen, you have this little button that says add a tag. So if I want to add a new one, I can type it here, or I can click or begin, and then the system will start auto-filling it. I can have as many tags as I want. So maybe it'll be movie screening. And then the beauty of finding them is when you go to the tags, if you're looking for specific things, then you may be clicking on PowerHalfHour, and it will give you the list of notes that were tagged with that. Or you can search for tags and the documents that were tagged with that. The other beautiful thing about the tagging is you can have multiple subtags. So for example, if you click on PowerHalfHour. You hover over the tag itself, you'll see little 3 dots on the bottom, on the right side. If you click on that, it gives you the options to create a sub tag under that tag. So in the context, let's say business contacts. This way, I can, when I need to look for business contacts that I saved, I can click on that and it will give me the documents that I saved under that category. Any questions about the tagging?
Stella, if you have pre-existing tags,
Mhm.
can you subset them by dragging and dropping? Like, do you know, like if you have tags that exist, can you combine them under another one?
So let's give it a try. If we are to look at the tags, list of tags and hover, you can move the tag to another sub tag,
Woo!
or you can add them to the specific shortcuts.
Excellent, thanks.
And I think the tricky part is remembering that you have to click on tags and to find those tags and then hover over these little 3 dots. It's not as straightforward and intuitive to begin with. Okay, so give it a try. Start a tag and add maybe some of your notes, tag them with specific tags that you just created. The other beautiful thing as you're doing this with Evernote is when you read documents online, if you stumble upon an article that you really love, you can use the stop share. Let me share my phone screen. So for example, if I go online and I found this really interesting article, on the bottom side, when you read, usually you would have that local menu to share. So you can find Evernote,
Ah,
and then you have the ability to assign it to a specific notebook or go back and add specific tag to it. And then you save it.
so just the Evernote app is on your phone.
Yes, yes. So this allows you to, on the go, save and organize everything maybe in your inbox. And then when you have the time to sit down, then you can go put those notes in the appropriate document or folder or notebook or tag them. We are Amazing Community, and our mission is to expand the work horizon for women over 45. And we encourage you to join us if you have the opportunity. It's free to join. You can just go to amazing.community and sign up for our future events. And when you when we wrap up and process the video, you'll also get the slides and links to a bunch of resources that you can use and read at your own pace. And with that, thank you so much for joining us and hope you'll have a wonderful weekend.